Hi, friends. This summer on Sleep Tight Stories, we're bringing you something special. A series of short stories made just for summer. Perfect for bedtime, road trips, or whenever you need a cozy break from the day's adventures. We'd love your help. The series launches in July. So if you have an idea for a story, now's the time to share it. Just reach out to Sheryl or Clark using the email in our show notes. And if we use your idea, we'll give you a special shout-out in the episode. Thanks for listening. Hello, friends, and welcome to Sleep Tight Stories. We love getting to know our listeners through your stories, messages, and birthday wishes. These shout-outs are one of our ways of staying connected and saying thank you for being part of our Sleep Tight community. We would like to say hello to Winston, who is 9 years old. Happy belated 6th birthday to Simone in Ithaca, New York. Mommy, Daddy, Maya, Rose, Garbo, and Void love you so much. Belated happy 7th birthday to Penny in San Diego. We love you lots. From Mommy, Daddy, and Gwen. Happy 7th birthday to Oliver in Philadelphia from Mom, Dad, June, Rose, Spooky, and Charlie the Hippo. We love you so much and are so proud of you. Happy birthday, Abram. We are so proud of you. Hoping 11 is your best year yet. Dad, Mom, and Hudson love you. It's an extra special birthday for Mr. Elijah because he was born at 11/11 on June 11th, and he is turning 11 this year. Happy birthday, Elijah. Happy 8th birthday to Anna Negley in Middleton, Maryland, from Dad who loves you so very much. Happy birthday to the most amazing girl in the world, Utame. Mommy and Daddy love you the most. The end we win. We hope you have an amazing day. Happy 11th birthday, Fiona. We are so proud of the person you are. We love you so much. From Mom, Dad, and Ziggy, too. Happy 11th birthday to the most amazing kid, Atlas, in Lake Arrowhead, California. We love you. From Mom, Dad, Oaks, and Banjo. And happy 9th birthday, Ellie Lou. We are so proud of you and we love you so much. Keep dancing through life. Love Mommy, Daddy, and Braden. Happy birthday to you all, and thank you for supporting the show. If you'd like to support our podcast and enjoy ad-free episodes, unlock bonus stories, and so much more, you can join Sleep Tight Premium. Subscribe in just 2 taps via the link in the show notes. Now, on to our story. Bernice and her class have gone on a field trip to the museum, where they met some new friends and tried some new foods. Bernice can't wait to tell Papa Bear all about it. Bernice went on a field trip. Hi, Papa. Hi, Cookie. I'm home, and I'm not even wet, even though it's raining super hard outside, Bernice called out as she walked quickly through the front door of her small house. I'm glad you didn't melt in the rain, Papa Bear replied in his super deep voice. I'm in the kitchen finishing up some cookies and warming your milk. Perfect treats for a rainy day. Oh, Papa, you know I won't melt, Bernice laughed, sitting down to take off her sneakers. They were soaked, of course, because she and Ethan had found a big puddle on the way home, and they just had to jump in. For science purposes, obviously. She wanted to measure water displacement. "Cookie, where are you?" she called. "You don't have to be scared. I'm not really that wet. Much." Instead of zipping around the corner like usual, Cookie the cat peeked cautiously from behind the hallway wall, as if checking to make sure it was safe. Cookie wasn't a fan of rain, or puddles, or wet socks. "It's okay, Cookie," Bernice said. "I'm dry as a cucumber? Wait, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, I'm not too super soggy." Cookie padded over reluctantly, purring, and curled up next to Bernice, careful to avoid her wet socks. "Did you miss me today?" Bernice asked, rubbing Cookie's ears. "I think I missed you. Maybe. I was pretty busy. We went on a field trip to the museum, and it was fun, but sometimes I just like to keep working and not do special things." Cookie purred louder. "We saw dinosaur bones. Again. Bobby and I saw them once before, but he still got super excited. The teacher had to remind him to be quiet like 6 times. I think he almost got in trouble just for that. But he does love dinosaurs and knows so much. Even the guide looked kind of impressed." Cookie flicked her tail approvingly. "Then we skipped through a whole bunch of stuff. Some of us complained. I mean, Ethan might have enjoyed the history section because he reads so many books, and Gertrude too. But the teacher said there wasn't enough time." Bernice sighed and rested her chin on her hand. "Do you ever wonder why time is short for some things and really long for others?" Cookie gave no answer, except for more purring. "Anyway," Bernice continued, "we ended up at the Future Science exhibit. It was neat. I mean, it's called Future Science, and I want to be a scientist in the future, so that kind of means I belong there, right?" She paused. But then Bobby did something Bobby-ish. It was super cool, but also kind of not allowed. The guide was kind of impressed, but the teacher didn't look very happy. She said she's sending a note home. Again. I think Bobby might have the world record for school notes. Bernice leaned over and whispered, "So I guess that means no movie this weekend." "Cookies are on the table," Papa Bear called out, "and I'm just adding a dash of vanilla to your milk." "Okay, Papa, coming. I definitely need a snack," Bernice replied. She stood up, still chatting with Cookie. "I'll tell you what Bobby did later, okay? Oh, and Ethan lent me some of his favorite books. I said I'd give them a try. I don't know if they'll be my favorites, but I am going to try." Bernice got up, put her sneakers away, grabbed her book bag, and ran into the kitchen, where her favorite smell in the whole world greeted her: fresh cookies. "It smells super yummy delicious in here, Papa," she said, hopping into her chair. "I still think you should open a cookie store in every city, so that no matter where I live, I can always have one of your cookies for an afternoon snack. And other people could too, I guess." Papa Bear chuckled. "Well, I think it might be cheaper to just send you a box of cookies every week, but I appreciate the idea. Sometimes, delicious cookies are best shared for free." "So, how was your field trip?" "Papa, I have so much to tell you," Bernice said, reaching for her milk. "It was a super eventful day. I tried new food, learned stuff, and Bobby got in trouble again. But first, cookie dunking." "Don't eat too fast," Papa Bear said, sipping his tea. She dipped her cookie carefully in her milk, took a bite, and smiled as she wiped a milk mustache off her lip. Bernice took another bite and began. So, after we got to school this morning, we immediately got ready to go to the museum. I kind of wanted to do regular schoolwork first, but I guess it's okay to learn in different ways. And the museum is fun and stuff. She paused to sip her milk. Ethan and I sat together, and Gertrude and Addie sat together, but Bobby had to sit with the teacher. He said it was like eating carrots, which means he didn't like it much. Papa Bear raised an eyebrow. Oh dear. What happened next? Well, we started with the dinosaur exhibit. Bobby and I have seen it a couple of times before, but some kids hadn't, so it was new for them. And of course, Bobby got in a bit of trouble. Papa Bear gave her a knowing look. Uh-oh, what did he do this time? You know how he's basically a dinosaur and robot expert? Like, he's really good at science and math, but when it comes to dinosaurs, he's kind of a prodigy. Even I don't know as much as he does. I try to learn from him, especially about robots. Robots are so cool. Anyway, she continued, he kept interrupting the museum guide. Not to be rude. He just got excited and wanted to add facts. The guide looked kind of impressed, but the teacher kept reminding him to wait and not interrupt. But Bobby just couldn't help himself. Papa Bear nodded slowly. So, what happened? Well, he almost had to go and sit with the bus driver, which would have been sad, but he managed to stay with us, just barely. Then at lunch, we got to eat in the museum cafeteria. Most of us brought lunch, but we made some new friends and introduced them to our tradition of sharing food. And Papa, you won't believe some of the interesting things I tried. What did you try? Papa Bear asked. Well, Bernice began, a girl named Alice brought some adobo with cucumber and rice. I tried a little of the adobo, and it was really tasty. I gave her some of my dessert in exchange. Then a boy named James shared his bulgogi. Have you ever tried it, Papa? It's kind of sweet, way less spicy than I thought it would be. He said his mom makes it all the time, and it's one of his favorites. One girl even had milk with chunks of watermelon in it. She shared with Gertrude. I didn't try it, but it looked pretty nice. She leaned in and added in a quieter voice. Unfortunately, Bobby couldn't sit with us. He had to eat with the teacher. I saved him a cookie, though. Poor Bobby, Papa Bear said gently. How did the rest of the visit go? Well, Bernice said, nibbling another cookie. It was kind of disappointing that we couldn't see more of the museum. Not everyone likes dinosaurs and stuff, and the teacher said there just wasn't enough time. She gave a sigh. Oh, time always gets in the way of the best parts. But then, she continued, we went to the future exhibit, and that was super interesting. Robots, composers controlling machines, holograms, and all kinds of pretend science. Except... She paused dramatically and looked at Papa Bear. Something happened. Papa Bear let out a quiet sigh. Oh, Bobby? Bernice nodded. Yep, Bobby. Well, Bernice began, when we were looking at the robot display, these robots weren't super advanced or anything, but they looked nice. They're supposed to answer questions and follow commands, like waving or jumping. But this one was kind of glitching. It didn't finish sentences properly and just sort of beeped a lot. Papa Bear raised his eyebrows. So, Bernice continued, I guess while the class moved on, Bobby stayed behind. You know how he always carries tools and his little computer? Well, he decided to fix the robot, except Bobby style. "Oh dear," Papa Bear murmured. He uploaded new stuff to it. "Funny stuff," Bernice said, trying not to laugh. Just as we were walking to the next display, the robot suddenly yelled really loud. Why did the computer take a nap? Because it had too many tabs open. Also, Ethan forgot to brush his teeth this morning. And then it started dancing like a malfunctioning disco toaster. Papa Bear covered his mouth, trying not to laugh. Oh no! The teacher was really upset. She said you're not allowed to touch the exhibits, let alone hack them. Bobby said he didn't hack it. He improved it. It was broken, and now it tells jokes, he said. I think the teacher wrote another note home. Another one? Papa Bear chuckled. I bet Bobby holds the world records for the most notes sent home. But the museum guide gave him a thumbs up. That was cool. I didn't even know Bobby could do software stuff. I mean, I knew he was into inventions, but not robot improving. It's wonderful that Bobby has so much talent, Papa Bear said gently. But that robot was someone else's creation. He should have asked permission. What if he damaged it or caused it to do something unsafe? Yeah, I get that, Bernice nodded. I just know Bobby's going to be a super inventor one day. But for now, I don't think he'll be allowed to go to the movies this weekend, or maybe ever again. Papa Bear smiled. You and Bobby are good friends, little bear. We all grow in different ways and at different times. Bobby will learn about boundaries, I'm sure of it. Bernice sighed and picked up the last cookie. Anyway, no regular homework today because of the field trip, but Ethan gave me some bonus homework. He lent me a few books. That was kind of him. Yeah, he reads so many different books than I do. These ones aren't exactly my favorites. Less science, more stories. But I said I'd try. He says his grandmother has a whole attic full of books. I think he's trying to read them all. Papa Bear smiled. That sounds magical. Is Cookie going to help you read? I think so, Bernice said, looking down at her soggy socks. But first I need to change. These socks are wet. And stinky, Papa Bear teased with a grin. Papa, Bernice giggled. They are not stinky, just wet. Cookie doesn't like wet. Papa Bear chuckled. All right. I'll call you when Mama gets home and dinner's ready. I can't wait to hear about what you read. Thanks for the cookies, Papa. They were the best. After nearly finishing a whole book and enjoying a tasty dinner, Bernice went upstairs to start her bedtime routine. She had a warm, soapy bath, brushed her teeth, and did a few stretches and some deep belly breaths, and laid out her clothes for the morning. Then, after arranging her bedtime friends just so, she jumped under the covers and called out, It's that time, Papa. I'm coming, little bear. Don't fall asleep before I get my hug, Papa Bear called from the kitchen, where he and Mama Bear were sharing a secret dessert, coconut cream pie. A moment later, the whole house gently rumbled as Papa Bear climbed the stairs. He peeked into Bernice's room and whispered, Are you still awake? Yes, Papa, Bernice replied. I was just practicing closing my eyes for when I actually go to sleep. Papa, how come you didn't share the pie with me at dinner? Papa Bear chuckled. How did you know about the pie? Papa, a good scientist notices everything. And I peeked in the fridge. Well, you caught us. We were going to save it for tomorrow night, but we just had to share a little slice tonight. I promise there'll still be more for you tomorrow." "Are you sure you won't eat it all?" "I'm 100% sure, little bear." "Papa, is it okay if I read one of Ethan's books tonight instead of a bedtime story? It's kind of interesting. It's about a bunch of kids trying to solve a mystery, and I think one of them might be an alien. It's kind of strange, but I think I like mysteries now. Maybe I could read just a little bit before sleep?" "That's fine, little bear. Maybe one night you can read us a bedtime story. I'll come back in a bit and turn off your light." "Thanks, Papa." "Are you comfy?" "Yes, Papa." "How about Twigga, Wolfie, and Madeline? Are they comfy too?" "I think they are." "I see Cookie isn't up here yet, but I'm sure she'll come cuddle with you soon." "Yeah, sometimes she needs more time than I do, and that's okay. I'll still keep her blanket ready just in case." "All right, give me a hug and a kiss, and don't stay up too late reading. Getting good sleep is important, even for mystery solvers." "I love you, Papa." "I love you too, little bear." And that is the end of our story. Good night. Sleep tight.